Alice, can I ask you something totally crazy? Alex, your crazy questions always wake me up. What? Sent my mouth to school? Like, actually trained your mouth to speak English? Alex, I think you need more sleep. No, seriously, Alice, listen to this. Okay, I am listening, but this better be good. What if your brain already knows English, but your mouth is still in kindergarten? Oh, wow, that actually hurt a little. And what if you have been studying English for years but never trained your mouth to speak? Alex, that is exactly what happened to me. If you are still watching, you already understand this problem because you are smart and you know your English has been stuck too long. So today, we talk about the train your mouth method, the shadowing method. Exactly. But first, Alice, let me tell you about a student I once met. Oh no, is this a sad story or a funny story? Both. Okay, tell me. His name was Ryan, 23 years old, studied English for 10 years. He could read a newspaper in English, he could write a perfect paragraph in English, but when someone said hello to him in English, his brain went blank. His mouth froze. He said nothing. He stood there like a statue for 7 full seconds. 7 seconds of silence is a lifetime, Alex. He told me it felt like he forgot every English word he had ever learned. Have you ever felt that? That frozen mouth moment? Because Ryan is not alone. Millions of learners feel exactly this every day. And Ryan was embarrassed. He thought he was just bad at English. But was he? No, he was not bad at English. Then what was wrong? His brain was trained, but his mouth was never trained. That is such an important difference, Alex. Yes, and when Ryan went to his teacher, the teacher said something very strange. Strange how? The teacher looked at him and said, "Your mouth is lazy." The teacher said that? Yes, and then the teacher said, "You need to send your mouth to the gym." Send my mouth to the gym? The mouth gym. Daily training, every single day.
Okay, but how do you actually train a mouth?
That is the question, right? Yes, because I cannot do push-ups with my lips.
You might be surprised, Alice. Tell me then, what is this mouth training?
It is called shadowing.
Shadowing.
You find a native English speaker, a video, a podcast, an audio clip. You listen to them speak. You repeat exactly what they say, immediately, out loud, while they are still speaking. Yes, like a shadow. You follow them. You copy their sounds, their rhythm, their speed. Oh, so you are literally copying the voice. Not just the words, Alice, the music of the voice. The music. I like that way of saying it. Because English has a rhythm, a melody, a beat, and most learners only study the words, not the music. Nodding. Exactly, and that is why the mouth freezes, because the mouth never learned the music, understanding. Yes, so shadowing teaches the mouth to move the way native speakers move their mouths. Alex, this is actually making sense. Surprised. It makes a lot of sense. Ryan's teacher told him to try it for 15 minutes a day. Only 15 minutes? Surprised. 15 focused minutes every single day. And what did Ryan do? Curious. He went home, he found a short English video on YouTube, storytelling. And then, eager. He pressed play. Pause. And the speaker said, "Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel," acting it out. And Ryan tried to repeat it, continuing. Did he get it right? He said, "Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel." Funny accent. It was a disaster, Alice, a complete disaster. Poor Ryan. Sympathetic laugh. But he did not stop. He pressed rewind and tried again. "Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel." Copying. Still a little wrong, but slightly better. Nodding. So he kept going? Curious. He kept going. 10 times, 20 times, same sentence. That sounds exhausting. Laughing. His roommate knocked on the door and asked if he was okay because he kept repeating the same thing. Laughing. I would think the same thing, honestly. Laughing. But here's the thing, Alice. After 20 repetitions, the sentence started to feel natural, slowly. His mouth started to remember the shape of those words. The shape of the words, repeating softly. Yes, because speaking is physical. It's muscle memory, like learning to ride a bicycle. Connecting. Exactly like that. You don't think about balance when you ride. Your body just knows. Excited. And shadowing teaches your mouth to just know. Realizing. Yes, without thinking, without translating, without freezing. Strongly. Day 1 for Ryan was messy. Day 2 was slightly less messy. Still messy, but he felt something different. Smiling. What did he feel? Curious. He felt his mouth starting to move a little easier, like the muscles were warming up, connecting. Exactly, like the first time you go to the gym and your arms hurt for 3 days. Laughing. I know that pain very well, Alex. Laughing. But then by week 2, it starts to feel natural. Continuing. And Ryan reached week 2? Curious. He reached week 2 and something funny happened. Building curiosity. He was walking to the market, headphones in, shadowing a video, narrating. Out loud, in public, laughing. Oh no, people must have stared at him, laughing. A woman turned around and looked at him very seriously. And what did Ryan do? He stopped talking out loud and just moved his lips silently. Like a fish, exactly like a fish. But you know what? Even the silent repetition helped, because the mouth was still moving. Mouth training does not always need sound. It needs movement. That is a great tip. I never thought of that. Ryan practiced on the bus, in the kitchen, before sleeping. He was obsessed. No, Alice, he was consistent. That is different. What is the difference? Obsession burns out. Consistency builds. Okay, that is a really powerful line. And by week 3, Ryan called his cousin who lives in another city. His cousin said, hello, in English. And Ryan said, hey, how are you doing today? Without freezing, without thinking, without translating. After only 3 weeks? 3 weeks of daily shadowing, 15 minutes a day. Alex, that is remarkable. And the cousin said, wait, you sound different. What happened to you? Ryan said, I sent my mouth to school. No, he actually said that? He did, and the cousin was very confused. But it was true. So the shadowing method really works like that? It works because of repetition, because of imitation, because of daily movement. Like athletes train. A sprinter does not just read about running. A sprinter runs every day. And an English speaker does not just study grammar. An English speaker speaks every day. Every single day. And shadowing gives you a way to practice speaking even alone. Even if you have nobody to talk to. Even if you are shy. Even if your pronunciation is terrible right now. It doesn't matter how bad you are at the start. What matters is that you start and you continue. But Alice, here's the twist. The twist? There's a twist? There's always a twist. Ryan came back to his teacher after 1 month. 1 month, every day, 15 minutes minimum. And what happened? The teacher asked him to have a simple conversation in English. Just everyday things, plans for the weekend. Ryan spoke for 2 full minutes. Smooth, natural, confident. After 10 years of struggling, 2 minutes of smooth English? And when he finished, the teacher smiled and said one thing. What did the teacher say? You finally trained your mouth, Ryan. Oh, that gave me chills, Alex. And Ryan realized something in that moment. What did he realize? He realized he had never failed at English. He just never trained the right thing. He trained his eyes to read. He trained his mind to understand. But he never trained his mouth to move. And the mouth is the final step. The mouth is where fluency actually lives. Not in the dictionary, not in the grammar book, in the mouth, in the muscles, in the daily practice. So how does someone start shadowing today, right now? Simple. Find one video in English, 2 minutes long, someone speaking naturally. A YouTube video works? A YouTube video works perfectly. A podcast works. Any native speaker audio works. Press play. Listen first, just once. Then press rewind. And this time, repeat every sentence out loud. Every sentence out loud. Copy the sound. Copy the rhythm. Copy the speed. Even if it sounds wrong. Especially if it sounds wrong. Wrong practice becomes right practice with repetition. And do this for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Every single day. Can you do that? Can you give your mouth 15 minutes a day? Because that is all it takes to start the transformation. Not 15 hours. Not 15 lessons.
15 minutes of real mouth movement, and you will feel the difference. Not in months, in days. Your mouth will start to remember sounds it never practiced before. Your confidence will quietly start to grow. And one day, someone will say hello to you in English. And instead of freezing, you will just answer, naturally, without thinking, because your mouth will know what to do, because you trained it. Alice, I am actually going to try this today. You should. Start with 5 sentences. Just 5. 5 sentences repeated 10 times each. Exactly. 50 repetitions total. Sounds like a lot. Takes about 12 minutes. That is nothing. It is nothing, but it changes everything. Alice, I want to ask the viewer something. How long have you been studying English? 2 years, 5 years, 10 years like Rayon. And how much of that time did you spend training your mouth? Really training it, out loud, every day, repeating real sentences. If the answer is not much, then you now know what has been missing. Not more grammar, not more vocabulary lists, mouth training, daily shadowing, 15 minutes, every day. And the most important thing, never skip a day in the first 2 weeks, because the first 2 weeks are when the habit forms.
When your brain starts to expect the practice, when your mouth starts to get used to moving in English. After 2 weeks, it becomes automatic, like brushing your teeth. Exactly. You do not think about whether to brush your teeth, you just do it. Shadowing becomes the same, a daily habit that your brain craves. And fluency follows the habit. Fluency is not a talent, Alex. Wait, you called yourself Alice? I am having a moment, Alex. Let me finish. Please continue. Fluency is not a talent. It is not a gift. It is not something some people are born with. Fluency is a result of daily practice, daily mouth movement, daily shadowing. Anyone can become fluent, anyone who trains their mouth every day. Rayan is proof of that, and you can be your own proof. Start today, not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Find that 2-minute video right now. Open YouTube, search for anything in English, a story, a lesson, a vlog, and shadow it out loud right now. Because the version of you that speaks fluent English is not waiting for a new course, is not waiting for a new grammar book, is not waiting for the perfect moment. That version of you is waiting for your mouth to start moving. So move it. Train it every day. Because fluency does not live in your brain, Alice. It lives in the mouth. In the mouth that has been trained day after day, sentence after sentence, sound after sound, until speaking English feels as natural as breathing. And on that day, you will remember this video. And you will smile because you sent your mouth to school. And it finally graduated. Thank you for watching. Now go train that mouth. We will see you in the next one. Go right now. The video is